They tell me you only have a few seconds to capture someone's interest. I ask, what better place to attempt it from than deep inside a jaw-dropping enchanted rainforest? In this Hike and Go Seekers episode, we will trek through a stop-you-in-your-tracks hiking trail in Olympic National Park and learn how to avoid large crowds of people on national park trails. I'm definitely going to take a lot of crap for telling you how to enjoy our beautiful national parks without having to deal with crowded trails. But stay tuned, because about halfway through this Hike and Go Seekers episode, I'll do just that. It's simple, really. In just a few minutes, you will find out about this secret before it's too late.
So we're getting ready to do the Hoh River Trail. We're going to do it as an out and back, because this is a 34-mile trail, but we're going to do an out and back to Tom Creek Camp and back for a total of about 6 miles. So let's get started.
We were expecting a little more vibrant colored moss on the trees. This is more of like a olive drab dreary color, and I was expecting like a vibrant forest green color. I guess that's what a drought and 90-degree temperature will do to a rainforest. Still pretty though, beautiful to look at, just not as vibrant as what it could be. I guess that gives us a reason to just come back at some point.
Okay, so Jay just a minute ago was going to film me and ask me if I was going to be on the lookout for a banana slug, and I said, well, I don't think this is the right trail because they're known for being on the Hall Moss Trail. And it was not but 5 steps later, lo and behold, there was one, and everybody on the trail is just walking past it because nobody's even looking for it. That's what I should do. I should be a guide.
If you were hungry, would you eat them?
No.
No? You don't think it has a bunch of protein?
I don't care if it does. I would have to be like on death's bed.
Like Naked and Afraid?
Yeah, like that hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah! Our commitment to our Hike and Go Seekers community is to step out of the concrete jungle and immerse ourselves into the wilderness. I'm envisioning 2022 to be an epic year for outdoor enthusiasts of all kinds. And if your passion is also the love of the outdoors, I encourage you to embrace your version of your outdoor challenge. They say the first step is to write your challenge down. So without procrastination, now is the perfect time to pause this video and share your outdoor journey challenge in the comments below.
The moss is so cool on the trees. Every branch is just covered and dripping with moss. I bet it's eerie in here at nighttime.
Our yard is full of clover, and we have little bunnies that eat it. Look at the size of this clover. What size are their bunnies?
If you look real close to the side of the trail here, you'll notice footprints in mud that's all dried and cracked. This mud is no longer mud. It's pretty much dry as a bone now. But you can tell how much water they usually get and how much water they have on the ground now. This is all dry. Every time you walk, take a step, dust comes flying up. But the forest is still pretty, that's for sure. Just dry and pretty. Okay, so we're about 1.6 miles into the trail. We come across our first campsite. This is a backpacking site. It says it's 1.4 miles that way.
It's crunchy, it's so dry. I guess because we haven't had any rain. Maybe it's softer during the rainy season, but right now it's kind of crunchy. Not what I was expecting.
Okay, so this tree looks like a tree out of a Disney movie. Come on now. This tree is gorgeous. I wonder how long it took for this tree to grow all these limbs. See all the moss right in there? It is very thick. It looks like it's almost a fort built out of moss. I'm sure the camera's not doing justice, but this place is beautiful. I just wish it was a little greener, a little wetter. Doesn't feel like we're hiking in a rainforest at all. Feels like we're hiking in a desert with trees. This is the riverbed here that we've been following. You can see the water, hopefully, maybe not, right about there. Temperature just dropped about 15 to 20 degrees in about 30 steps. I'm not sure how much of it you can make out, but right in there's a waterfall. Looks like it's about, I don't know, 100 feet high. It's pretty cool. I want to get closer to that water, which is just right there on the other side of this. I don't want to take my shoes off because I don't want to get my feet all muddy, and I don't want to get my shoes wet, and I don't want to walk on this log because I'll probably fall off, knowing me. So I think I'm gonna turn around and hope that we hit that, walk over there, get closer to that water somewhere else. But what intrigued me in coming down here was we finally got level with the water, and I saw this day use area right here. At least I don't think it's a campsite because there's no markings for it to be a campsite on any of the maps that I have. But you could certainly use it as a day use area and bring some sandals, and you can make your way over to the river. Have yourself a nice little day in the river. I'm sure there's a lot of mosquitoes in here though. Make sure you bring your mosquito spray. Just check out the branches on this tree hanging over the trail here. It has so much moss on it, it looks like it's snow if it was white. This one's shaggy. That's the trunk of the main trunk of this tree. Just hangs over the trail, goes straight up, and creates this. A seabed of moss. And it goes super high. Up in there. Looks like something that would be on the movie Avatar. Well, we're venturing off, heading towards the campsite now, or the campground that we wanted to check out here. And coming off that trail onto this trail, looks like we're going to have some obstacles. I like a little game of obstacles every now and then. Okay, there's two campers back in there. We're not going to go any further and disturb them. Looks like they're setting up camp right now. But we were able to get a lay of the land. We know what its limitations are and what gear we need to carry in order to come out here for a nice backpacking trip next time. Yeah, that's a nice backpacking site back in there, folks. Okay, we have made it to the campsite, as you could see a few minutes ago. I had to cut that short because there was campers back in there and I didn't want to disturb them. But this is where we're going to turn around and go back. Now, to give you a tidbit of why we chose a backpacking site is because the amount of people on backpacking sites or backpacking trails are nowhere near the amount of people that are going to be on your through hikes, your loop hikes that are going to be at the trailheads and national parks. So the amount of people that we saw today, we probably saw what, maybe 20 groups of people. If we were on one of the other trails around here, we would have said hundreds of people constantly. And some of the most beautiful sights and scenery are going to be on your backpacking trails anyway. So there's a tidbit for you. Don't be afraid to just go in as far as you want to go and then turn around and head out and choose a backpacking trail in your national parks. We paid the price by stopping at the beach, having to wait in that line, but we did not pay the price by choosing a backpacking trail and not having to deal with a whole lot of people. Okay, keeping it real here. We are sitting in traffic to get into Olympic National Park. And it is putting me to sleep. Literally. I think I fell asleep twice. Tina had to wake me up to tell me to move up to the car behind in front of me.
You were sleeping?
Yes, I was sleeping. I actually fell asleep. Yep. But this was to be expected. There's no real easy way to check out the beach and look for marine life and get into the park early at the same time. This will probably be the only park that we wait to get into, because all the rest of them, or all the rest of the trailheads, when we go in, we will be going in early, so we will be bypassing the traffic jams. But right now, we are definitely sitting in a traffic jam, and it looks to me like we'll probably be sitting here for at least an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to take a few more naps in between moving the car, and we'll catch up with you at the trailhead. The bottom of this tree right here looks like a claw, like one of those claws that are in those vending machines with little stuffed animals and gadgets that you don't need, and you go down and grab them. And if you get them, you can pick them up and bring them, drop them in the chute. It's at the bottom of this tree here, it looks like. We're nearing the end of our hike.
No, not quite yet.
Check out the size of these roots that are on the trail all over. They're huge.
While we trek through and admire this beautiful rainforest together, I'll explain the powerful feeling we are experiencing and starting to embrace. If I only had one word to explain how I'm feeling as I ponder at these massive and somewhat spooky looking trees, I would say comforting. Yes, comforting. The truth is, we started to feel insignificant amongst these massive trees. However, we also felt a sense of comfort. This may sound crazy to some, but the insignificant feeling we were experiencing was also shifting to feel more and more comforting. So yeah, comforting is how I would describe how we felt on our journey through the Hoh Rainforest. Share in the comments below your one word that describes your favorite and most memorable hike ever.
The banana slug count is at 3.
Holy cow.
All right, in comparison, this is my finger.
just never seem to get tired of looking at these trees. They're just so beautiful. Massive. And they are everywhere. Oh, look at that massive tree right there. It's probably the root of it. And I'm standing 50 feet from that tree. Wow. Look, there's another one coming from it right there. Starts there. And I'm 60 feet away. Just tons and tons of ferns. I've never seen so many ferns. That trail was just beautiful. It had a little bit of an eerie feeling to it, I think, with all of the moss. At least I thought it did. What did you think, Tina?
Yeah, I didn't think of it like that, but yeah.
Yeah, kind of gothic-y kind of looking, you know? I mean, especially if you're in there at night all by yourself.
Yeah.
How many miles was it?
We ended up doing 6.2.
Most interesting trail I think I've ever been on. At least I thought it was interesting.
It was cool. We found lots of banana slugs.
Yeah.
And we didn't. I mean, we were able to find them and not being on the trail of the Hall of Moss Trail, and we still found them. So.
Yep. We saw like 3 of them.
You don't have to go where the crowds are.
No, we didn't go where the crowds are. You can actually spend a few extra minutes doing a little bit of research and planning, and you can beat the crowds. You can avoid them.
Other than the entrance station.
Yeah, you do.
Can't avoid the entrance station.
Yeah. Only way you can do that is get up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. So.
Right. So we are standing at the big cedar tree in Olympic National Park, but there's not a lot of signage or any information about it. So we found it, but we don't know how old it is or anything about it. But it's very cool.
You can see the top there is gone. So it definitely fell off, but if you look at the trunk, looks pretty historic, it's so big. And I guess this is one of the roots coming off of it going into the ground. It's even on the outside of the fence. Part of it still looks like it's alive, and I mean, that looks like the same tree right there. And that side of it has got leaves up at the top. The root system is amazing. It's like a spider web of roots.
In an unexpected way, this forest has changed us, and once again, we are faced with moving on from such a beautiful place. However, it makes it a little easier leaving, knowing that one day we will return to experience what it is like to stay overnight in this strange and unfamiliar land. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel and you enjoy hanging out with us, share the love and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. This way, you'll be notified when we share our next Hike and Go Seekers adventure. Thank you for watching.